sensitization to improve compliance. We move on to item number 2 under management response, fees and charges. Variance 200,386. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's finding and wish to state that the cause of overcollection on fees and charges was as a result of opening more checkpoints within the district. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget so that it is more realistic. We move on to item number 3 under licenses. Variance 10,376. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of overcollection on licenses was as a result of the task force compliance. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget so that it is more realistic and has further continued to monitor compliance. We move on to item number 4 under levies. The variance is negative 776. A cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of undercorrection on levies was due to over-budgeting. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget so that it is more realistic. We move on to item number 5 under permits. The variance is negative 104,801. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of undercorrection on permits was due to low compliance levels by the public. Action taken. The council has continued to engage the communities on the need to pay for permits to the local authority, and also a task force has been put in place in order to reinforce compliance. We move on to item number 6, other receipts. The variance there 1,328,492. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of undercorrection on other receipts was due to over-budgeting. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget to be more realistic. Under item number 7, that is commercial venture, the variance there is 4,457. And cause of query. Management wishes to state that the overcollection was due to partial rehabilitation of the council lodge and increase in the number of bed spaces. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget to be more realistic. We move on to item number 8, local government equalization fund. The variance there in brackets 168,95. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of query is due to funds being withheld at the source for statutory obligations such as LASIF. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget accordingly. Other grants, that is last item 9. The variance 1,016,585. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state an additional grant from the government. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has adjusted the 2025 budget to accommodate the additional grant. Remedial measures, Chair. Management will endeavor to prepare realistic budgets and continue sensitization of the business community through stakeholders' engagement on the importance of paying revenues due to the Council for service delivery within Masaiti District. We move on to page number 4. B, annual performance of the Council, and the management response is on page 5. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the Council had planned to collect revenue from local source in amounts totaling 19,244,500. However, it collected a total of 13,368,309, resulting in an undercorrection of 5,876,191, representing a 31% adverse performance. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has prepared a realistic 2025 budget and formed a task force to enhance compliance. Further, management has oriented the WDCs on revenue collection in their respective wards. See Appendix 2 attached. Remedial measures. Management shall endeavor to undertake quarterly budget tracking in order to make timely remedial measures of flexing the budget accordingly. Further, it will intensify the monitoring of revenue collectors, agents, and WDCs who have been engaged. Then we move to another item, deliverable targets or outputs not achieved. Chair, on this item, I will take you to page number 7, where there are our management responses. Item number 1, public health. Description: inspection of non-food premises. On this item, we achieved the 42%. And cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the Council had transport challenges due to constant breaking down of old utility vehicles, which made it difficult to meet the target. Action taken: management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in the 2025 approved budget. And we are still under public health. We move on to inspection of schools. We achieved 36%. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the Council had transport challenges due to constant breaking down of old utility vehicles, which made it difficult to meet the target. Action taken: management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in the 2025 approved budget. Inspection of markets: we achieved 62%. And cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's finding and wish to state that the Council had transport challenges due to constant breaking down of old utility vehicles, which made it difficult to meet the target. Management action taken: management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in the 2025 approved budget. Food seizures: we achieved 10%. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's finding. Management wishes to acknowledge auditor's finding and wish to state that the Council had transport challenges due to constant breaking down of utility vehicles. The management action taken, Chair, management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in 2005 approved budget. Eradication or elimination of pests or vectors. On this item, we achieved 60%. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge auditor's finding and wishes to state that the activity is demand driven. As such, no further vector or pest complaints were received to attend to the meet plant target. Action taken: management through public health section has continued to sensitize the public to report any vector or pest nuisances. Quantity of waste corrected: on this one we achieved 33%. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge auditor's findings and wish to state that the cause of query was due to inadequate resources and lack of equipment to undertake solid waste collection services. Action taken: management has procured a tractor for solid waste collection and allocated sub-funds to facilitate solid waste collection in the 2025 budget. We are still under public health. The last item is number of public sensitization made. On this item, we achieved 50%. Cause of query: management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's finding and wish to state that the cause of query was due to transport challenges due to constant breaking down of old utility vehicles, making it difficult to meet the target. Action taken: management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in 2025 approved budget, and has planned to embark on alternative modes of public sensitization, e.g. radio programs and the council social media platform. Then we move to water sanitation. Item: conduct assessment and repairing of non-functional bores. On this one, we achieved 64%. Cause of query: management acknowledges the audit findings that only 64% of the targeted bores were rehabilitated. This was due to limited resources, which couldn't allow us to attend to all the reported cases at the same time. Action taken: management has trained VWASH committees on operations and maintenance of hand pumps. Further, 19 APMs were trained on repair of hand pumps. Conduct water quality testing in water points. On this item, we achieved 37%. Cause of query: management acknowledges the audit findings and wish to state that the query was due to lack of field water quality testing and monitoring kits. Action taken: management has budgeted to procure water quality testing kits in the 2025 budget. We move to another item: drilling of boreholes in the district. On this one, we achieved, or we scored 10%. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that the variance was caused by inadequate resources. Thus, all targeted boreholes were allocated under CDF. Action taken: management has included in the 2025 budget to procure a bore drilling machine under the Zambia Devolution Support Program, which will enable us to drill bores at reduced cost. Move on to the next item: carrying out sensitization and orientation of VWASH. On this one, we scored 76%. Cause of query: management acknowledges auditor's findings and wish to state that the variance was due to inadequate funding to carry out sensitization of VWAShes. Action taken: management has budgeted for the orientation of VWASH committees under CDF. Move on to another item: carrying out rehabilitation of broken down boreholes. On this one we scored 94%. Cause of query, management acknowledges the audit findings that only 94% of the targeted boreholes were rehabilitated. This was due to limited resources which couldn't allow us to attend to all the reported cases at the same time. Action taken, management has trained VWASH committees on the operation and maintenance of hand wash pumps. Further, 19 APMs were trained on repair of hand pumps. We move on to another section, that is water section. Conduct assessment of repairing non-functional bores. On this item, we scored 64%. Cause of query, management acknowledges the audit finding that only 64% of the targeted bores were rehabilitated. This was due to limited resources which couldn't allow us to attend to all the reported cases at the same time. Action taken, management has trained the VWASH committees on operations and maintenance of hand pumps. Further, 19 APMs were trained on repair of hand pumps. Conduct quality water testing in water points. We scored this. We move on. Drilling of bores in the district. Isn't this a repetition? Oh, sorry, Chair. I think we can move on to roads and drainages. Oh, these are repetitions.
Yes.
Yes. Roads and drainages. Rehabilitation of 15-kilometer Chiwara Ring Road in Chiwara Ward and the 10-kilometer Miputu Road. On this item we achieved 80%. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's finding by which was caused by inadequate financial resources coupled with high cost of hiring equipment which couldn't allow us to complete works on 10-kilometer Miputu Road. Action taken, management through the CDF has procured earth moving equipments which will allow us execute road works at reduced cost using our own equipment. Construction of crossing points in Kashitu, Ishitwe, Lumano and Chilulu wards. On this item we scored 80%. Cause of query, or 60%. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's finding that only 60% of the crossing points had been completed at the time of audit. This was due to some ongoing works by some contractors. Action taken, all the outstanding works at the time of audit were completed and are in defect liability period. Construction of earth embankment in Kashitu, Chirulu, Lumano, Chondwe, Ishitwe wards. On this one we scored 80%. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's finding that only 80% of the earth embankment had been completed at the time of audit. This was due to some ongoing works by some contractors. Action taken, all the outstanding works at the time of audit were completed are in defect liability period. We move on to architectural section. Design, cost and inspection of CDF and operation projects in various projects in Masaiti and Kafulafuta constituencies. On this one we scored 94%. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the variance was due to some projects that were not funded under CDF due to inadequate financial resources from what was estimated. Action taken, management has planned to execute proportioned approved projects under CDF for 2025. Quantity surveying section, quantification of CDF and operation projects in the district, we scored 94%. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the variance was due to some projects that were not funded under CDF due to inadequate financial resources from what was estimated. Action taken. Management has planned to execute proportioned approved projects under CDF for 2025. Fire section. Fire prevention and inspection in markets, industrial and institutions. We achieved 75%. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wishes to state that the variance was caused by transport challenges due to frequent breakdown of vehicles. Action taken. Management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in the approved 2025 approved budget. Fire safety awareness in markets, industrial and institutions. We achieved 75%. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the variance was caused by transport challenges due to frequent breakdown of vehicles. Action taken. Management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and another one in the 2025 approved budget.
And repair another one.
Let me read this again. Management has budgeted to procure one utility vehicle and repair another one in the approved 2025 budget. Operations. Excuse me. Drowning cases, RTA and firefighting. We achieved 53%. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state the variance was due to number of cases that were reported against what was planned based on previous year. Action taken. Management has planned to execute proportioned reported cases. Lessons of staff. We achieved 75%. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to state that the variance was due to overrunning in programming with other fire activities. Action taken. Management has scheduled the activity plan for 2025 to ensure that all fire activities are systematically undertaken as planned. And the last item, human resource and administration. Facilitate undertaking of training of officers. We achieved 52%, 52.6%. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings. However, it did not facilitate the undertaking of all training due to inadequate resources. Action taken. Management has planned and budgeted for training that were not undertaken in the 2025 budget. Remedial measures, Chair. Management shall endeavor to adhere to budget guideline when setting up deliverable targets or outputs. We move now to another item, compliance with registration and regulations. Failure to maintain database for businesses. Management response, that is cause of query. Management acknowledges...
Can you read the... Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Our management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the council collected revenue amounts totaling to 771,535 from various sources such as communication mast levy, manufacturer's license, liquor licenses, among others, but did not maintain a database for businesses operating within its jurisdiction. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the database is in place and ready for verification. I'll refer you to appendix number 4. Chair. Remedial measures. Management shall ensure the database for all taxpayers is maintained and updated regularly. Item B, weaknesses in accounting for revenue. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council collected amounts totaling to 184,050 from the issuance of fire certificates, which amounts totaling 92,025, being 50% of the collected amount were expected to be spent on the development of the fire unit. The council, however, only spent amounts totaling to 11,079, being 6% of the amounts collected on fire related as of 31st December 2023, leaving the balance of 80,946. Action taken. Chair. Management wishes to state that the balance of 80,946 from 92,025 has been spent on fire related activities, and documentation are available for audit verification. See appendix number 5. Remedial measures. Management shall endeavor to adhere to the Ministry of Local Government Circular number MLGH 101-174 dated 21st July 2018. We move on to item E. Weaknesses in management of assets. Missing motor vehicle. Management response. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's finding on the Nissan body registration number ABT 905 that was missing at the time of audit. Management wishes to state that the vehicle in question, the details as indicated, was involved in an accident and was taken to the garage in Rwansha for repairs. However, the vehicle was erroneously auctioned by the Copper Belt Provincial Administration during the 2023-2024 Committee of Survey sale, and it was bordered COS 11/23 and sold on the 6th March 2024 to Mr. Fraser Mwaba under GRZ receipt number CO 819455. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the council has written to the provincial administration to give a report on the reason why the vehicle was auctioned without the consent from the council. See appendix 6. Remedial measures. Management shall endeavor to address the communication lapses existing between the local authority and the other government departments. We move on to item F. Management of Local Government Equalization Fund, 20% for capital projects. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that the works had not been completed for the rehabilitation of Sandabunga Guest House Phase 1 during the period under review. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the project has since been completed with all the outstanding works done. The project is currently on defect liability period, which shall expire on the 20th March 2025. See appendix 7. Remedial measures. Management will ensure that project management techniques are employed on all future projects to track and review progress to avoid unnecessary delays in project completion without compromising on quality. Item G, weaknesses in the management of procurement of goods and services. Cause of query. Management acknowledges that is the questionable payment of sitting allowances. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that sitting allowances amounts totaling to 30,770 were paid to facilitate various council and board committee meetings. However, documents such as minutes for the meetings, attendance register, and schedule of payments for allowances were not availed at the time of audit. This is because the minutes are kept separately from payment vouchers. Action taken. Management wishes to state that all supporting documents are available for audit verification. See Appendix 8. Remedial measure. Management shall ensure that all necessary documents are availed at the time of audit. Item 2. Payment to suppliers without clearance from ZRA. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that council processed 23 payments amounting amounts totaling to 365,102 to various suppliers of goods and services. Action taken. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that tax clearance certificates and TPNs suppliers have been obtained and are ready for audit verification. See Appendix 9. Remedial measures. Management shall endeavor to adhere to the Treasury and Financial Management Circular number 7 of 2023 on the need to have clearance from ZRA for suppliers before payments. We move to item B, cross-cutting issues. Appendices, Appendix 1, audit opinion. Masaiti, unqualified opinion, proposed qualified, unqualified opinion. Remedial measures. Management wishes to state that it will continue to prepare financial statement based on specific standards and regulations to ensure accountability, transparency, and consistency. Move on to number 2, Appendix 2. Budget, funding, and expenditure. Cause of query. Management acknowledges auditor's finding that council did not spend funds amounting to 4,277,155 at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the unspent funds were committed for running council operations and projects. The funds have since been spent. See Appendix 10. Remedial measure. Management shall endeavor to spend funds as and when they are received and within the financial year. Appendix 12, unaccounted for fuel. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and which to state the council did not account for fuel amounting to 47,127 at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that all necessary disposal details for fuel amount totaling 47,127 have been attached and are available for audit verification. Remedial measure. Management shall ensure that all necessary documents such as GRN and fuel coupon are attached to the payment vouchers for easy verification. We move on to Appendix 14, unaccounted for stores. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that council did not account for stores amount totaling to 145,702 during audit. Management wishes to state that from the total queried amount of 145,702, 85,000 was a full contract for supply and installation of plumbing work for Sandabunga Council Lodge, and 50,000 was an advance payment for construction of a kitchen shelter and at Sandabunga Lodge. The remaining balance of 10,700 was spent on procurement of t-shirts for the World AIDS Day, was not accounted for the time during the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that all necessary documentation amount totaling to 145,702 have been attached and are available for audit verification. See Appendix 12. Remedial measure. Management shall ensure that all necessary documents such as GRN and fuel coupon are attached to the payment vouchers for easy verification. Move on to next item, Appendix 19. Failure to provide white books for movable assets. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that council had 6 movable assets without white books during the period under review. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the process of obtaining white books was done for 1 vehicle while the other 5 vehicles were disposed of. See Appendix 13. Remedial measure. Management shall ensure that all necessary documentation such as white books are kept under lock and key to avoid loss of documents. We move on to Appendix 21. Failure to ensure motor vehicles and buildings. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that council had 3 motor vehicles and 4 properties which were not insured at the time of audit. This was because it was in the process of acquiring title deeds for the 4 properties, acquiring insurance for the Land Cruiser GRZ 912 CZ CDF monitoring vehicle, registering the tractor which had just been procured, and other vehicle was a non-runner. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has applied for the acquisition of the title for the 4 properties, which is a prerequisite for insurance The Land Cruiser has since been insured, while the Toyota Hilux registration number ABM 4488 is still a non-runner, and the tractor has been registered and in the process of acquiring insurance. See Appendix 14. Remedial measure. Management shall ensure that all council assets and property are secured and insured. Failure to maintain council properties. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that the council failed to maintain 3 properties during the period under review. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has procured equipment such as a lawnmower, waste bins to help in maintaining the surroundings. Further, it has budgeted for the revamping of the community park in the 2025 budget. See Appendix 15. Remedial measure. Management through the engineering department has equipped the parks and garden section with necessary tools needed for continuous maintenance of the surrounding and has assigned specific officers to manage the activities under the section. poor management of waste. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state the council had failed to establish a disposal site during the period under review. Action taken: management wishes to state that it has secured land and some funding under the Zambia Devolution Support Program to set up and construct a dump site in the district. See Appendix 16. Remedial measure: management will ensure that waste management is enhanced in the district through establishment of enough refuse bays in all strategic areas. Move on to Appendix 28. Failure to settle statutory obligation. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's finding that council owed a combined total sum of 19 million 727,664.
Are you able to read it nicely?
Oh, sorry.
Read the
Chair,
figures nicely.
There's a we have left out some figures. Let me just read that again. 19,727,964.
Go ahead.
Action taken: management wishes to state that it has included a payment plan in the 2025 budget to offset the historical. See Appendix 17. Remedial measure: management shall ensure that principal amounts are paid to avoid penalties and to ensure that the commitment made towards offsetting the outstanding debt is adhered to. See Appendix 29. Oh, sorry. We move on to Appendix 29. Failure to settle. Is a repetition? Oh, it is failure to settle staff obligations. Cause of query: council failed to settle staff obligations amounting to 678,000 kwacha 371 during the period under review. Action taken: management wishes to state that staff obligations have been cleared and documentation is available for verification. See Appendix 18. Remedial measure: management shall endeavor to settle staff obligations whenever there is availability of funds. Appendix 31. Management of Local Government Equalization Fund. Remedial taken: management will endeavor to adhere to guidelines and regulations issued by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. We move on to Appendix 34. Failure to ensure fire officers. Excuse me. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's findings that the council failed to ensure 11 fire officers during the period under review. Action taken: management wishes to state that the process of ensuring 11 fire officers is underway. See Appendix 19. Remedial measure taken: management shall endeavor to adhere to the ministerial guidelines. Appendix 35. Lack of rescue ambulances and marine rescue equipment. Cause of query: management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wishes to state that the council had no rescue ambulances, marine rescue equipment, and fire tender and communication system during the period under review. Action taken: management wishes to state that it has budgeted to procure some marine rescue equipment and has recommended and supported some officers from the fire section to undergo a training in marine operations in Mbala. See Appendix 20. Remedial measures: management will endeavor to provide and maintain emergency rescue equipment which are within our capacity at all times and we will continue lobbying for support and funding for equipment beyond our capacity from the ministry. Appendix 36, lack of personal protective equipment. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wish to state that council had no personal protective equipment during the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it has budgeted to procure personal protective equipment for the fire officers in the 2025 budget. See Appendix 21. Remedial measure. Management will ensure to adhere to safety measure regulations. Appendix 38. Lack of fire fighting equipment. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wish to state that council had no firefighting equipment such as ambulance, a fire tender, marine rescue equipment, and communication systems such as toll-free call line, GPS for easy navigation. Action taken. Management wishes to state that it had made a provision in the 2025 budget to procure some marine rescue equipment which are within its capacity. Refer to Appendix 22. Remedial measures. Management will endeavor to provide and maintain emergency rescue equipment which are within our capacity at all times, and will continue lobbying for support and funding for equipment beyond our capacity from the mother ministry and other corporate partners. I wish to submit my clarification to the cited queries and assurance to the committee that the remedial measures to the queries from a site town council will be adhered to. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will now invite points of clarification from the honorable members of the committee. Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning to you. Morning, our permanent witnesses. I was not available during introductions. Morning, Masaite. And you are welcome to National Assembly. I'm Mwene Lohamba, as stated by the Chair, Member of Parliament from Mangango. And I'm a member on this committee. So please kindly clarify the following to us. To start with, Chair, I would like to guide the CS to page 17. On G, weaknesses in the management of procurement of goods and services. Chair, it's disheartening that Masaiti Town Council finds it a pleasure always in not availing documents to auditors at the right time. And I believe auditors were not there only for a day or so, but it's so disheartening that Masaiti Town Council fails to avail documents at the right time, but chooses to bring the documents to this committee, which is not okay. Because the reason why auditors come is to verify this, and you provide the documents. This would actually shorten your legs and minimize your appearances before this your good committee. Chair, during the time of audit, there were questionable payments of sitting allowances. Masaiti Town Council had meetings or a meeting with where they involved the payment of 30,770 kwacha to the council and the body committee for board committee meetings. Chair, during the time of audit, Masaiti Town Council failed to avail the minutes. 1, failed to avail attendance registers. 2, failed to avail the schedule of payments for the allowances to the auditors, which is it gives, I think, raises eyebrows to this particular transaction. Chair, I just want to find out why Masaiti Town Council, you failed to avail these documents to your auditors, in spite of you giving a reason to say this was because the minutes were kept separate from payment vouchers. This chair will not, the committee will not take this, because this was within the same premises. And just to give a simple illustration, Chair, for example, a human being keeps clothes and spanners in separate rooms, but within the same house. So if someone asks for a spanner and asks for a cloth, for your clothing, then you say, no, I can't avail this because they are kept in separate rooms. This chair will not be accepted by your committee. So why did you decide to pay this 30,770 kwacha, but failed to provide these relevant documents before your auditors? 1. 2, why should these documents only be available now during this committee meeting with you and not available then? For 3 weeks during audit they were not there. So how do you expect your committee to accept these documents as authentic documents that you can bring forth before your committee? Didn't you just make these documents to just come and show your committee that wow, the documents were not there for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks of audit, now Chair, they are here? What should make us or your committee, even the viewers out there, to prove that these are authentic documents? And these are not the only documents, including even simple white book, simple fuel receipts and so on, Chair. They were not there during that particular time of audit. Why should those documents miss? Where were they during the time of audit that you can bring them now? Chair, apart from that, the third question is, why should you just show us these payments, show your committee these payments handwritten and so on, without bank transfers to the relevant attendees of the meeting? It's like you just went and withdrew the lump sum, brought cash in the particular meeting you are calling you had that meeting, because to us you are just purporting to have had that meeting because you had no minutes, no documentation whatsoever to that particular meeting of that particular day. You just withdrew cash, you came and paid it by hand. The law states that you are supposed to transfer into their relevant accounts. You haven't provided that evidence before your committee. Where is that evidence of those transfers? I submit, Chair, in the meantime.
Thank you so much. Yes, you may respond.
Oh, thank you so much, Chair. On the same of board committee meetings, I would like to inform this committee that we do usually conduct what we call human resource committee meetings, which deals with the matters relating to human resource. And on this same committee, there are some outsiders who are part of this committee, and they are entitled to transport allowances. So usually we do give these members of the committee the transport allowances after the meeting. So for further clarification, Chair, allow me to call upon our Acting Director of Human Resource to shed more light on the same. Thank you.
Yes, Acting Director Human Resource.
Thank you very much, Chair, and the Honorable Member. We acknowledge the concerns that have been made that the documents, I think, were not availed at the time of audit. Documents like the minutes and other documents. I think, Chair, we beg your indulgence. I think probably there were just some internal lapses, I think, in the communication. But otherwise, the apologize that there were some internal lapses in communication. Then, in terms of Chair, that probably the bank transfers for the same sitting allowances have not been availed. I think at the time of audit, I think the bank transfers were there. I think what the auditors had queried was the acknowledgement of the receipt of the payments. We did avail the bank transfers, but they indicated that we need to go a step further. Where are the, I think, the acknowledgement of receipt, which are the acquittals. So basically, Chair, I think what I can say is that I think there were just internal lapses, and we shall work on them. Thank you.
Thank you. You are saying the documents were there. This is not the only query that regards you not giving information to the auditors. Let's go to page 20. Unaccounted for fuel. You didn't provide disposal details to the auditors on this particular item, 47,000 kwacha 127. Unaccounted for stores on page 21. 145,000 kwacha. This is another query where you neglected to give information to the auditors. The question is why? Why do you want to bring the information here and neglect to provide this information for audit at the station? Yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. We do accept our weaknesses as an institution. Moving forward, I think I can assure this House that we are going to reorganize our House so that such will not happen in the future.
And the officers involved, you just leave them there without reprimand?
Yeah, of course we are going to take some action.
Why haven't you taken the action up to now?
Chair, I just want to mention to you that I just joined Masaiti, that is 2 months ago, but this does not mean that I shouldn't take responsibility for the issues which are being raised. I promise under my new leadership that we are going to address such matters such as these which are being reported here, failure to provide relevant information during the audit queries when the auditors come or when the audit query us. So these are some of the things which have exposed us. These are weaknesses which we as management we've sat and agree, and moving forward we are going to do better in future. I submit.
Honorable Mwine.
Chair, Mr. Mchanangwa here, he has already stated that he can't escape this because he's the principal officer for now. Those members are still here, those that failed to submit these documents. Are they still here? They are here.
Yes.
Here?
Yes, Chair.
Chair, you can engage them right now so that they tell your committee and the viewers out there the reasons to why they choose not to avail these documents. Yes. Is it negligence, or there is some fraud somewhere, somehow, such that when they come for audit now, you have to cook and prepare some false evidence, or you undermine the auditors that come? You just choose not to say, no, even if we don't avail, what else can happen, and we don't even mind. On those three, what is your position?
Thank you so much, Chair. I think from my experience, I can say this could have been caused by lack of communication between the local authority and the auditors. Usually, if there is information which is required during the audit, the auditor's office are supposed to give or write to the council to provide that information. I don't know if that was done during the audit query. maybe at this juncture, allow me to call upon Director of Finance maybe to clarify or shed more light.
Yes, you said you are not there. You are not going to assume that something was not done. You are in that position and you are supposed to be responsible for this report.
Yeah.
You know the audit procedures. For you to indicate that there was communication lapse, the committee will not accept that. You know the audit procedures. Whenever the auditors want information, they tell you in advance. And they are not there for one day. It's a process. The audit process, you know it. So to come and tell the committee that there was communication lapse when you are not there is unacceptable.
Oh, thank you, Chair.
Who do you want to answer the question from Honorable Mwene?
Okay, allow me to call upon Director of Finance maybe to shed more light, more that, especially that the store's office falls under her office.
Director of Finance, the Honorable wants to know, is it pure negligence or it's people stealing money and want to falsify documents when the auditors go? Respond to the Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I think I can say it's part of negligence, not really stealing, and more especially maybe on the issue of the receipts, because the receipts sometimes you just you go to issue a few and then forget to get the receipt, or maybe sometimes you get the receipt and then maybe just the
Chair,
Yes, Honorable.
I wish to correct the Director of Finance that you have not come here to give your assumptions, okay? You have come here to give authentic evidence. You cannot start telling your committee, I think, maybe, no. Can you give proper responses of what is on the ground in your department at my site? I submit, Chair.
You are guided, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and I apologize for that. I think I can just say it's negligence. I submit.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's interesting to hear the responses, Chair. They shall improve going forward. Which going forward? Year in, year out. Why should you wait for the auditors for you to do the right thing? My question, Chair, goes to the CS. In your response to Honorable Mwene's question, you indicated that all the documents were there during time of auditing, and your director, human resource, also augmented that point, and who further also went to say what the documents were there. This audit query should not have appeared. So, Chair, mine is that if they can't avail those documents, they are not even here. The documents that are here, they are unacquitted. So, meaning they don't have. So they just sat and started writing, thinking it will solve their problem. So, is it your wish, CS and the Director, HR, that the statement which you just put to this committee should be expunged or debased from your submission so that we have clear records? Thank you, Chair.
Yes, CS, you can ask the Director HR to respond.
Thank you so much, Director.
Thank you very much, and Honorable Committee. Well, Chair, I think maybe I just wish to maybe just emphasize that I think the acquittal documents that are there, they actually they were genuine, and they were actually signed by the
Point of indirection, Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Kalobo, you may switch off your mic.
Direct HR is justifying. So before he can be given chance to go ahead and justify, can we have documents that are properly, can you have payment vouchers that are properly acquitted? Otherwise, we will not be storytelling here. We start discussing an issue that has got evidence. Can we have those documents before we proceed?
Director HR, where are the proper acquittals in this report?
Appendix. Chair, we are on Appendix 8.
Yes, you can lead us.
Okay. Okay. There was one that was missing, the one that was for the payment for March 2023.
How many members from here are outsiders?
They're just two members, Chair, the chairperson for the Human Resource Management Committee and the vice chair.
How much do you pay them?
We just pay them 600 kwacha as sitting allowance.
Yes, proceed.
Yes, so there was also another one that was also missing. That was for the June 2023 payment.
June 20?
The June 2023.
How many outsiders are here?
The two outsiders, the chair and the vice.
You pay them 600 each again.
600 each. Yes, Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Then there's also another one for September 2023. On this one, we just paid one because the chairperson was absent in this meeting.
You paid only 600.
600 just to the vice chair.
Yes.
Then there is also for November 2023, which we paid the two.
Yes, Director. We are following you.
And there is also for December 2023.
And how many were paid here?
Two, Chair.
At the rate of 600. The next ones?
Yeah, so Chair, as for the sitting allowances, these are the allowances that were paid.
The figure questioned is 30,770. The evidence that you have provided through the minutes which are attached, the cumulative payment is 5,400. Would you show us the other acquittals so that we can have the total of 30,770?
Thank you, Chair. I think what was queried by the auditors, I think that these HRMC sittings as well as the council meetings, I think the ones that they are referring to as the board meetings. I think for these ones, I think after they were queried, I think they were availed to the auditors.
Yes, but now you are appearing before this meeting. And so this committee needs to see the evidence that these meetings really did take place. And this is the evidence which the Honorable Member was talking about. Honorable Kalo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Here we seem to be wasting time, Chairman. Yourself, you told us that what was queried was the payment vouchers which were not properly acquitted. These are the 5 vouchers, I think. These are the vouchers, you mean. Chairman, internal auditor has not signed. The person who prepared they just pick a paper, fill in someone's sign. These are not properly acquitted. They were not even audited internally. The issue is properly acquitted documents. Is this properly acquitted? You as a trained officer, as an expert, are these vouchers properly acquitted? Auditor General, help us. Are these vouchers we are seeing here properly acquitted? They are not even approved. There is no signature. That's the issue. Properly acquitted vouchers. So I go back to my earlier request. Is it your wish that these vouchers or evidence you have put before this committee, which was not properly acquitted, which anywhere under the sun in this country, under accounts which cannot be accepted, is it your wish that be expunged or debased or excluded as part of evidence?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. I think I'd like to echo the same words which Director of Finance has echoed, that these lapses are due to negligence, and I would like to apologize on behalf of Masaiti Town Council that for submitting the information which is not adequately prepared, verified by the internal auditor. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Mani.
Chair, just to get back to my earlier question, I asked the CS himself to say what evidence can you lay that can be on the table to say these documents are false documents, you just prepared them before you came here. You remember I asked that question, Chair, which he confirmed to say yes, they are real documents, see, they have not just been cooked and so on. But if we had to ask, Chair, who prepared this? Director HR, who prepared this? Signed by who? And on which date? Maybe they can answer first. We take them bit by bit. And secondly, CS, you are confirming through your Director Finance that the council is full of negligent officers. What should be done to officers that are so negligent, especially on financial matters, even other issues? What should be done to negligent officers?
Yes, CS, what do the conditions of service say to officers who neglect to get a receipt for fuel paid for?
Chair, they are supposed to be charged.
And the amounts recovered, isn't it?
Exactly.
Can we go to another question, honorable members? Or we still have more questions on this matter? Yeah. Come again? This query is not...
This was written same day, different months, different same person.
I'll give guidance on the evidence regarding the same. Are we able to have any more questions, or I excuse the council? Yes, can we start with the honorable member for Kaumbwe? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. May I refer the committee to page 16.
page 16, a project of rehabilitating Sandavunga guest house. The contract price was 988,878. 870 kwacha, thousand kwacha, and the contractor has since completed the project, but the contractor completed the project 7 months after his contractual completion period. The question I have is, was there any time extension, and where is the evidence? Any penalties to the contractor for late completion of the project?
Yes, witness.
Thank you. Allow me to call upon Director of Engineering to give us the details on this detail. Director.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the project was delayed by 7 weeks from the intended completion period, and the contractor, Chair, had requested for extension, which was granted. I think there was a 2-month extension that was earlier given. Chair, otherwise I wish to apologize that we didn't attach the extension document that was given. Otherwise there was an extension that was given for the works that were delayed. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Dr. Manza.
You are saying extension for 2 weeks. Remember the delay was 7 weeks. So what about the remaining weeks? And why didn't you charge liquidated damages? Because your 7 weeks of completion as compared to the extension for 2 weeks remains 5 weeks unattended to.
Yes, Director.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to withdraw, Chair. It wasn't 2 weeks but 2 months. And Chair, we didn't charge liquidated damages because I think at some point the delays were caused by us because we could delay in paying the payments to the contractor. So that's why we could not be able to charge the liquidated damages. Then also apart from that, Chair, there are also some other corrections that the contractor was actually requested to rectify, and that is what actually led to the delay in the completion. Because we wanted to ensure that, Chair, there was quality in the product that the contractor was giving us.
Follow up, Honorable Dr. Manza.
If we go to Appendix 7, there's what is known as a certificate of completion of the works issued to Zitra Ventures Limited. CS, I want to find out, is this a standard way of issuing a completion certificate where it has no details of works, scope of work, even financials are not there on the completion certificate of works? Is this the Masaiti standard or the natural or the normal standard of issuing a completion certificate?
Yes, yes.
Director, you can
switch off your mic, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Previously, we had a template that we were using for issuing of the completion certificate, where we could indicate the contractor name, the start date, the amount. But then, Chair, recently, we received guidance from the Ministry of Local Government, where they guided us on the standard template of completion certificate. Because I think the Ministry Chair noticed that councils were using different templates. I think Masai had its own template that it was using, maybe Mpongo had their own template. So they gave us a standardized template. And this is the template here that you are given that you are supposed to be using. And what we have done here is that just to adopt what the Ministry guided us. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kalobo.
No question.
Yes, Honorable Mwini.
Thank you, Chair. Director Engineering, you have said the part of the cause of the delayment in the completion of this work was as a result of you delaying to pay the contractor. Why were you delaying to pay the contractor? I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. The rehabilitation of Sandawunga Guest House, this is a project that is funded from our local resources. So usually what we do is that every time that we collect revenue, we allocate some monies towards the same project. So there were times that when the time that the contractor is claiming to be paid, it was found that maybe we didn't have adequate money for us to be able to pay. So we had to mobilize ourselves so that we get the monies and then be able to pay the contract. So that was the delay that was there, Chair. I think it is a bit different from CDF where funds are already readily available. But for us, for these projects, we totally depend on the collections that we make. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. With your indulgence, may I take the committee to page 5. Item I, deliverable targets stroke output not achieved. Chairman, the witness has provided us a table on page 7. And the CS told this committee that they failed to meet these deliverable targets due to transport challenges and inadequate resources. And in the table on public health, there are about 5 items. 5 items that you did not deliver, and many more other, maybe on the firefighting issues. Why did you fail to deliver when you had the 2 vehicles which were procured under CDF? You had the transport. Then also, do you have officers, competent officers, who can help the council set realistic targets for the council? In my second question, Chair, let me drive the committee to page 18.
You've asked 2 questions. You want to go to another query?
Another query,
Okay.
on page 18.
Please. CS, you may switch off your mic. I'll call upon you to respond. Page 18.
Yeah, item number 2, payments to suppliers without clearance from ZRA. Chair, the query here is why the council paid suppliers without getting clearance from ZRA. But what is here, when I take you to on the same query, page 19, on the action taken, CS has told us that management acknowledged the auditor's findings and wishes to state that tax clearance certificates and TPINs suppliers have been obtained and ready for audit verification. And on appendix 9, they've given us these tax clearances. This is wrong evidence, Chair. They have created their own query. The query is, why did you pay suppliers without getting clearance? It's not why did you pay suppliers who did not avail the council their tax clearance certificates. This is what you are responding to. Why did you pay suppliers? And yourselves, you have brought the circular here, which you abrogated, the circular number 7 of 2023. So, can you respond, CS and your team, why did you pay suppliers without getting clearance from Zambia Revenue Authority? Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, witness, you may respond.
Okay, thank you so much. I will start answering with question number 2. You may wish to know that the same suppliers who have been mentioned are those small SMSs who are found in Masaiti. For example, there are those shops or business centers existing in our district where we would go there and get few stationery. Unlike these other big suppliers where we invite them through the AGP, these usually are one-off activities. So moving forward, Chair, starting this year, we have advertised to have all small local suppliers registered with the Masaiti Town Councils. So this could be one of the reasons why they are being paid minus us demanding the necessary documents. Maybe the second one, over the deliverables which were achieved or not achieved, Chair, I'd like to mention or to bring to this attention of the House that truly transport has been one of our challenges. Yes, we acknowledge and would like to thank government that we have CDF vehicles, and as you may be aware, under Masaiti we have 2 constituencies, that is Masaiti and Kafurafuta. So these CDF vehicles are always out in the field to monitor community projects. So moving forward, under 2025, we have budgeted to procure 1 utility vehicle and repairs another one, which you will see us improve on all the targets which we have presented before this House. I submit.
How many vehicles do you have at Masaiti Town Council?
Currently, allow me to call upon the Director Administration to give us the exact numbers of vehicles which are running and those which are not running.
Thank you, Chair. Well, currently we have on our inventory we have 8 vehicles, Chair, and of the 8 vehicles, only the 2 CDF vehicles are running and 1 utility vehicle. Thank you. I submit.
Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. CS and your team. The law establishes your positions, and it goes further to prescribe your boundary of operation. Which law informed you that small suppliers, one of where you correct stationery and the rest as you have put it, you can pay them, or you can go against the law to pay them? Which law informed you that? Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Chair, we have recognized that fact that we've been breaking the law. That's why I've said moving forward 2025, we have advertised to have all the local suppliers operating within our district to register with us. I think, yes, Honorable, we are breaking the law, but we intend to clear that by moving forward, that is through 2025. We won't be dealing with any supplier who is not registered with our institution. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
On page 5, the council missed an opportunity to collect revenue in an amount of 5,876,191 from local sources. And it represents a 31% adverse performance on this particular item. In your action taken, you are saying that management has prepared a realistic 2025 budget and formed a task force to enhance compliance. Further, management has oriented the WDCs on revenue collection in their respective wards. See Appendix 2. My question is, what is the role of the WDCs in local taxes revenue collection in these respective wards? And is there any memorandum of understanding or engagement letter for the WDCs to assist the council to collect revenue in their respective areas? Thank you.
Yes, witness, you may respond.
Yes, Chair. Through the WDCs, we can recruit what we call revenue agents, who we usually sign contract with and we pay them on commission. So usually what we do when we are orienting the WDCs, we also try to identify those who are able to carry out that mandate of collecting revenue on behalf of the council. Yes, Chair, the law allows us to work with the WDC when it comes to revenue collection. I submit.
Honorable Kalovo.
Thank you, Chair. Same on page 5. On the table provided on page 9, where you failed to carry out sensitization and orientation of the viewers. On the action taken, you have said management has budgeted for the orientation of the viewers committees under CDF. I would like to learn, Chair, under which procedure have you budgeted for CDF to orient the viewers? Thank you very much.
Yes, witness.
Well, thank you so much, Chair. Allow me to call upon Director of Engineering to explain more on this.
Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. So, Chair, what we did was that looking at the drought that we had in the previous year, I think we experienced a situation whereby most of our communities did not have access to water, and most of the hand pumps in the district had actually stopped functioning. And when we did try to inquire why, so when we did an assessment, so we realized that most of the hand pumps were not working because of not having viewership committees or inactive viewership committees. So, Chair, the two constituencies allocated funds towards rehabilitation of boreholes and also drilling of new boreholes. And then, Chair, we made it a requirement that wherever we are drilling a borehole, we have to make sure that we have a viewership committee that is formed or reactivated. So that is what we are doing, Chair. And also, Chair, even this year, I think there's also commitment that has been made towards water and sanitation, of which viewership committees are one of the targets. Because, Chair, what we have realized that the other weakness that we have is that the communities and the viewership committees are not making contributions towards user fees, because these water points, Chair, when they are constructed, they are supposed to be maintained by the communities themselves. But due to the inactive viewership committees, they are not doing that. So that's the reason why we have made a lot of commitment towards operation and maintenance of these facilities. Thank you, Chair.
The question was, you've budgeted for this under CDF. He was asking what procedure have you followed to put this under CDF?
Thank you, Chair. What we did here was that because this was a need from the community, so through the WDCs, they submitted the community application forms, of which water and sanitation was part of it. So in our costings, as we are budgeting for borehole rehabilitations, we have also included a component of viewership activations. So that is the procedure, Chair, through the normal applications from the WDCs I submit.
Yes, Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Director, you have just told this committee that after you construct these wash points, it's the community to maintain. Which guidelines or which law stipulates that the community themselves they are supposed to maintain? Or is it just within from you, the councils?
Yes, Director.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, government is running a water and sanitation program, which is the National Rural Water and Sanitation Program. Chair, it is stipulated that the communities are supposed to meet the user fees for operation and maintenance. I'm sure, Chair, you have heard, I think in most of the districts, there are what we call SOMAP shops. And this is why, Chair, most of the councils have actually stocked the hand pump spare parts for the boreholes in the district, so that the communities through their contributions are supposed to procure those parts. So, Chair, what it is that when you read through the National Rural Water and Sanitation Program, you find that they have categorized the type of repairs. They are what we call minor repairs. So for the minor repairs where we just need to change the rubbers.
Director, you're talking about the national program, and you submitted to this committee that this will be implemented under CDF.
Yes.
Yes. So the two are different. How do we handle the rehabilitation and repairs for a program done under CDF?
And in addition to what just Chair said, the CDF Act only draws ZPP Act, Financial Management Act, and I remember another one, the National Rural and whatever water program. CDF Act does not draw that law. So that's why we are interested. So can you educate us, Director?
Thank you, Chair. We have a water and sanitation section under my department, and this is the second chair that is responsible to ensure that the rural communities are provided with water and sanitation services. So, Chair, from what is supposed to be done, that is why, Chair, there is that guidance that the communities are supposed to make contributions towards operation and maintenance of the facilities. We should go towards minor repairs. And then when it comes to major repairs, Chair, this is where now the council comes in and do the rehabilitations. So that's why you find that, Chair, in our annual budgets, we always make allocations for rehabilitations. And those rehabilitations are targeting the major repairs that are supposed to be done. Those are repairs which the communities cannot afford because of the huge cost that is involved. So those we budget for them, Chair. Thank you.
Yes, any other questions? Honorable Mwene?
Thank you so much. I would like to take the council to page 24, Chair. Failure to settle statutory obligations. Chair, the council has a backlog of 19,727,964 kwacha on its statutory obligations, specifically ZRI and NAPSA. Chair, I'd like to take it to Appendix 17, where they have, just before they came here, prepared the payment plan in preparation to come and meet their committee. To start with, CS, what is your income base monthly as a Masaiti?
Thank you, Chair. Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Our monthly revenue is 40,000, 50,000 without the property rates. I submit, Chair.
So with the property rates, it comes to how much?
Then we talk about quarterly. Quarterly, we received about 2 million plus.
Okay.
I submit.
Chair, I was asking those questions based on the submission made here on their payment plan. It's indicating that, Chair, they will be paying about 400,000 monthly up to November 30th, 2025. I want to just find out whether a payment of 400,000 per month will be feasible or possible or attainable with the Masaiti Council. I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Director, you can respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. The payment plan per month, it's a minimum of 200. 100 from ZRA and 100. Then where we have indicated 200, this is where we collect a more, where we get some property rates. That's where we've indicated a 200 and 200, which is coming to 400. I submit, Chair.
My question, Chair, is this attainable according to their income as a council? Or they just prepared it so that they can satisfy your committee? I submit, Chair.
Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, if we follow the payment plan, it's attainable. I submit.
And you were saying your income is 400 a month. Your locally generated income.
Chair, our plan is based on the property rates, which we correct per quarter. So what we do is we spread. So we know that, and then next month I think we can manage to pay 200. I submit, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kalo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Like Honorable Mwene said, they just started okay, this payment plan that you have submitted before this committee. Why didn't, if you are serious about this payment plan, why didn't you commit yourselves by going to these various institutions that you owe, so that you put it in writing to show seriousness? Because you have not committed anyway. You just started, okay, this month you can pay this. You as a council. Even when you don't pay, there will be no one to ask you that you have failed to pay. And again, when was this commitment plan done? Because for me it's just a paper. Even from yourselves, you as a council, it is not authenticated. CS, the final signature in the council, you have not pended your signature. The people's director finance and the other directors, nothing. Even it's not even indicating who prepared this. So I don't know what kind of commitment that you are showing here. That's why Honorable Mwene was saying you just started to prepare so that for the purpose of dealing with this query in this committee, you brought this type of evidence. Thank you very much, Chair.
Has management started to adopt and approve this payment plan?
Yes, Chair, and it was approved under 2025 budget.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Man.
Thank you so much. Did you submit this to ZRI and NAPSA so that they know for their consent to say, okay, Masaiti Town Council will be giving us 200,000 every month? Did you take this to the relevant bodies? Because, as my colleague has stated, this is just to you and yourselves, such that even when you don't you don't pay according to your commitment, there will be no one to reprimand you. So did you engage your colleagues? I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes. Has ZRA and NAPSA been engaged?
Okay, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. They have been engaging us, I think, on one-to-one. It's just that it's not in written. I submit.
Yes, Honorable Mani.
Thank you so much, Chair. I think DF is very much aware that her good committee does not accept those kind of statements that are verbal. Your committee believes in writing. If we can object to such kind of a writing that is not authenticated, how about a verbal? So in simple terms, Chair, just to be precise, CS, even you had to consult your DF, implying that as the principal officer, you are also not aware whether they are engaged. That's why you had to consult your DF. Now, CS, why should you come to your committee and start telling your committee something that is not truthful? I think, you covered them in Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia. Yes, it's imperative that when you have been covered in the laws of, in Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, it's imperative that you give nothing but the truth. If something you are not sure of, state it the way it is. Then consulting your DF, and then she tells you or tells the committee something that is not authentic. In simple terms, Chair, they haven't engaged the other bodies. I submit, Chair.
Yes, you are advised to Honorable Kampamba before I comment. Please come in. Is it on the same matter? No, it's a different. Oh, okay. Yeah. You are advised to take advantage of the amnesty that the two institutions are offering. Engage them so that you clear the principle so that they can remove the penalties. We would love to see commitment. The good part about this committee is you may tell us something wrong, but tomorrow you come back and we don't forget here. So we want you to take seriousness in answering the queries that the Auditor General is questioning. So if they are asking you that there is a problem here, we want to see evidence that you are engaging and tackling the problem. What you have presented here cannot be admissible to this committee as a response that you are committed to break the statutory obligations that you are owing. We would like to see evidence of you engaging ZRA, NAPSA. We would like to see evidence of a commitment plan to liquidate these statutory obligations that you owe. Honorable Kampam.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, CS and team. Chair, just a quick query on failure to ensure its fire officers. This is on page 26, going on to, I think, the last bit, that is 28. When I read through, Chair, it's showing that we have a very unserious council. Even just from their response on, I'll take for example, it's ensuring its fire officers, its response is it's doing everything possible to make sure that they're insured, but fires can come anytime, and obviously it looks like it's not a priority. And I'm sure we're talking about vehicles. Their vehicles are insured, but human life is not insured. Then we look at also the issue of their equipment. They have no equipment at all. And the fire department is a very serious department. And it looks like Masaiti Council in itself has not taken keen interest in this area. And it brings a lot of worry because Masaiti is a growing district. And maybe my question to the management is that, does Masaiti experience fires or it's never had fires? And my other question also is that, as in regard to missing equipment, I've seen the fire tender is not even there. So what happens in the event that there are fires? What do you do? Because I know your council is very near Ibenga girls. I know Ibenga is part of Masaiti, but rapid response, if there's a fire, obviously the nearest station is Masaiti, isn't it? I was at Ibenga and I know where your council is. So what happens? Does the school or the hospital burn down because the council is lacking equipment, there is no insurance? So the whole department, Chair, is like it does not exist under Masaiti Council. And when you look at where Masaiti Council, the offices are stationed, this is where it's like the heart of governance is. So in the event that there's a fire, what happens?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thanks for that question. Chair, Masaiti Town Council, as Masaiti Town Council, we do not have a fire tender. We entirely depend on Luansha when we have serious calamities like fire. And but when it comes to other small issues like RTAs, someone drowns in a river, we have able officers who we've been training and who've been sending to the ministry and the other institution for capacity building. So those we rely on them. And when we look at our 2025 budget, Chair, we have budgeted some substantial amount towards the purchasing of other equipment to help our department. Maybe allow me to call upon Director Engineering to shed more light on the other items.
Can we have the question just answered exhaustively and then you answer a follow-up question?
Yeah. Allow me to call upon Director of Engineering to shed more details on the same too.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, indeed, Masaiti does not have the fire tenders, and usually on the instances of fire that comes, just like the way the CS has mentioned, we depend on Luansha Council and as well as the Ndola Council, because we've got part of Masaiti that is in Ndola side. So we usually depend on Ndola. However, Chair, I think management, the last 2 years, we have made serious efforts in trying to equip the fire section. And one of the things that we've done, Chair, is that we are rehabilitating the fire section office because they didn't have an office. So we are rehabilitating the fire section so that they can even start operating at night, because usually they just used to operate during the day. And also, like already indicated, Chair, we have also budgeted in the 2025 budget to buy a number of fire equipments which they need to use. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much. Chair, this is rhetoric. They are just mere stories that they are trying to narrate before your committee. The CS can sit here and tell us to say, no, they have got dependable fire officers, they have got hard-working fire officers, but in the report here, he's failing to dress them. He's failing to insure them. How are you motivating them? Because go on page 26. Failure to insure fire officers. The ones you depend on, you have failed to insure them. From 2023 up to 2025, you have failed to insure them. But you are claiming to say you depend on them, they are hardworking, they are good, they are what? Here, live on TV, you are praising them like that. But when you go down on the ground, you are not praising them based on the report. Look at also page 27, Chair. It's saying lack of personal protective equipment. The same officers that you are praising here on TV, You are failing to buy them protective equipment. Even if it is you, CS, a fire erupts here, how are you going to attend to it without protective equipment? Chair, this they are telling your committee is not real. It's not real, because to appreciate somebody for the work, the hard work that they do, you motivate them by dressing them up correctly, by insuring them and providing the equipment they need, but you have not done that. So what is the evidence in what you are telling your committee that you have hardworking and dependable, reliable fire officers? What is the evidence in that when you are doing the opposite based on the report? I submit, sir.
Additional, Honorable Kampamba.
And Chair, I take Honorable Mwene's words as my own. Council Secretary, even just from your director, when you say you depend on Indola and you depend on Luansha, those are distant areas. By the time Luansha, and for example, if there is a fire also in Luansha, so Masaiti will burn down, isn't it? Because their fire tender is being used. If there is a fire in Indola, it means Masaiti will burn down, isn't it? And when you look at the distances from Indola Town Council to where the fire is, I don't think it's a workable outline for me. And also, these are very, you know, they look very small but very critical. People's lives will be lost. Institutions will be lost. For me, I think Masaiti Council should begin to take priorities in areas of importance. If at all you have been looking at these areas, just like Honorable Mwene is saying, these are your officers who have no protective equipment. And I'm told the Kafulafuta Dam is in your area, which is a huge investment from government. Should there be an accident, what will happen? In the immediate, that you as the council, you are here in Lusaka, and there is an issue, for example, even just at Kafulafuta Dam and any area, what will happen? So for me, I think there is lack of seriousness, and the answers for me as a member of this committee, I think are not adequate. And Chair, our colleagues from these councils, I think it's become a norm where they will just say, we'll look into it, we'll look into it. I think sanctions should begin to be done, because year in, year out, we cannot be looking at queries, the same queries, the same queries. It becomes a joke to the committee. And also, even as they come with their answers, they should come with answers that are really, really, really convincing to members of this committee, so that this committee is seen to be working. Otherwise, saying we depend on this council, what are you doing? Because CDF from 2021 has been given to this council. Why are you budgeting now, when the same council you are depending on is getting the same CDF as Masaiti? So, Chair, for me it brings a lot to be desired.
That was council. Another question from the Honorable Member for Karulushi. Honorable Karugo, you have...
Thank you very much, Chair.
Question?
May I draw the committee to page 15. Query number E on page 15. Weakness in management of assets. Query missing motor vehicle. Chair, the CSC on the missing motor vehicle, the Nissan vehicle, told us, this committee, that they only discovered that this vehicle was missing after the auditors queried. So they went to the garage only to find the motor vehicle was not there. So my question is, when was the motor vehicle involved in an accident? 1. 2, how long was it in an accident? 3, are you able to provide the accident report? And again, how effective is your transport management at your council? We would like to know, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Chair. From the information which I've gathered, that accident happened in 2017. So when that accident happened, the vehicle was taken to one of the garages in Rwansha, so that the panel beaters can easily have access to it. Allow me at this juncture to call upon Director of Administration or the Transport Officer to shed more light after that.
Yes, Director Administration.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think as CS has alluded, I think this vehicle was involved in an accident in 2017 and taken to the garage, I think for...
CS, you may switch off your mic.
For assessment. So I think it was at the garage for quite some time, because I think probably the repair costs, I think, were too much, because it could have amounting not just to literally buying another vehicle. So I think at the time of audit, I think that was when it was discovered that the vehicle was not at the garage. And we did some preliminary inquiries on what transpired, and that is why we had ascertained that the vehicle was actually sold by provincial administration. But otherwise, I think, Chair, I think there was I should say, a lapse in terms of, I think, communication between us and provincial administration. But otherwise, our transport system is it's managing the problem. Thank you.
Was this vehicle insured?
Well, Chair, I think from the information that we gathered, the vehicle was not insured.
It was not insured.
What?
Where is the accident report?
Yeah, Chair, I think the accidents, I think, report formalities, I think, they were done some time back in 2017 before being taken to the garage.
Honorable Kampamba.
Thank you, Chair. And again, Chair, this is the negligence of our government institutions. First and foremost, when a report is brought before a committee, all these documents are supposed to be in place so that we assess whether the value of the 3,400, the auction, was it worth it? And as a council, if the vehicle, and I believe that government vehicles are supposed to be insured. And when they are not insured, what happens? Again, it's a negligence on government, because for you to come and have the vehicle auctioned at 3,400 is a loss, and government does not have the money. So if the vehicle was insured, it would have probably been fixed, or you would have been in a better position of acquiring a better vehicle. And I can bet you this vehicle that has been auctioned at 3,400, for government to put up a replacement, it's in the years to come. It's in the years to come. And the cause of the accident, for me, the report, Chair, would have been, it would have given us more information. What happened to the driver? Was the driver charged? You know, who caused the accident? People should learn to take responsibility. If it was an employee of Masaiti Council, he causes an accident, was he charged? If he wasn't charged, what has happened? You know, who was in the wrong? You know, was there any form of compensation or something like that? Because for me, it really brings very sad reading. 3,400 kwacha, you know, and this vehicle will never be taken back again. There will never be this vehicle at Masaiti Council. So for me, again, it's our officers. It's laissez-faire, business as usual, fair government, fair boma. They will do whatever it is, and the officers need to be charged in these areas.
Masaiti Town Council, this report is a very bad report. We expect seriousness in running government affairs. You're using taxpayers' money. When it comes to accounting for the monies that have been put into your hands, there's a laissez-faire attitude to account the funds. You want to just use, like Honorable Kampamba said, never bomb, never government. You exist for service delivery. You exist to improve people's lives. You exist to provide amenities. We want to see a change in Masaiti. I know your employer is following these proceedings, and it's unacceptable that somebody who's employed as a transport government is losing money. If the car was insured, we're going to replace it. Number two, you take it to a garage in 2017, no follow-ups whatsoever until the car is sold without even your consent at a song value of 3,000 kwacha. This notion of handling government resources without care must come to an end. You don't want to provide information to the auditors who want to check that you are following the guidelines. You only want to bring information to your committee, information which is not even sufficient in answering the query. When the auditors come, you hide this information because money was stolen. But when coming to the committee, you are in a hurry to produce evidence which does not make sense. We earlier saw that the evidence speaking to the queries was not making sense. This is government money. Employees who do not want to work, you are chief officers. You have subordinates under your charge. There are sanctions that are supposed to be followed. If an officer draws fuel, does not account for the fuel, you're supposed to charge the officer. Next time you appear before this committee and you are telling us that it's just a pure case of negligence and there's no report to recover to discipline these officers, we shall recommend that yourself be disciplined, because then it is a case of negligence at the top. You are directors, HR, you are the custodian of conditions of service, procedures. You want to be in the forefront of saying, you know, the documents were there, it was lack of communication. That is unacceptable. Firefighting equipment, lack of insurance of the officers. Lack of personnel equipment, lack of rescue ambulance and marine equipment. We expect these equipments to be bought. Councils receive equalization fund and other grants. Instead of making this a priority, you want to get money. Before we did away with the loan equalization fund, capping the 20%. Instead of attending to such, you were actually getting the 20%, taking it to your salaries, paying yourselves for the services that you are not offering to the public. This cannot continue. It must come to an end. And it will come to an end. It will not be, business as usual. I think this is unacceptable. Go and put back your house in order, Council Secretary. Issues of perpetual succession. We don't want you next time to come here and tell us I'm just 2 months in the job. You had the report 2 months in the job. It's a long time. You should have charged some people. You should have come here to show us, say, no, I took action. The ones that didn't account for 147 stores, we've charged them. We're recovering monies from their salary. That is the kind of leadership we want to see in this country. Councils must improve. Your immunities are lifted. You may go back to your council and work for the people.
Thank you, Chair.
Well, thank you so much for still being with us on Parliament Television. I just hope and trust you're enjoying watching to a live parliamentary committee. And this is a committee on local government accounts as they continue considering the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the accounts of the local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And witness for today, this morning, we had the Council Secretary, Masaiti Town Council. So I'd like to urge you to stick around because we do have the next witness coming from the Kitwe City Council, and this is a town clerk, and which will be followed by the town clerk Chingola Municipal Council, and we expect to wind up the day today with the council secretary from Mpongwe Town Council. So very interesting elaboration that we are getting to hear from these local authorities. And my sign language interpreter for today, I do have Chola Kauma and Jason Manda. Like I mentioned when we started today's transmission, that we've had quite a number of local authorities that have appeared before this committee. This far, we've had the council from Mafinga Town Council, and also not forgetting Mpika, Shiwangandu, Chinsali Municipal Council, and still have all the 116 local authorities to appear before this committee. So for now, we'll take a break and we'll cross back to the committee as they interact with the town clerk from the Copper Belt and Kitwe City Council, to be precise. My name is Paul Sentin. I've stayed with you until the time 13 hours when we break for lunch. Keep watching Parliament Television. David.